remember back in the day of sitting in classrooms, gazing out of the window into the vastness of the never-ending sky, wishing I could see what was there, what was really there, and even beyond that. This is then sometimes followed by me picking up my pen and pretending it was some sort of faster-than-light spacecraft, the whooshing whispers I made leaving me with some sense of immersion, the combination of my own daydreaming world and desire to know the unknown, always getting me through the days of, well, education. It seems that such daydreaming can be accomplished in game form now, thanks to the highly awaited release of Hello Games' No Man's Sky, a first-person space exploration survival game, per se, that sees you the player awake on a crashed randomized planet and tasked with fixing your own ship and journeying to the center of the galaxy. The idea presented before you is one of limitless wonder. Me, a simple normal person, must travel by my own means to the center of the galaxy's known space to unlock its secrets? What must I do? How do I get there? Who and what will I find along the way? With those questions comes the main one. Is No Man's Sky a trip worth taking? A quest of multiple hours to reach a goal so close yet so far away? Or should we ultimately just give up and let the mystery die with our own wasted effort? No Man's Sky is what some could say is a promise well kept, along with a partially exaggerated lie. From trailers long before release, we were treated to a thriving universe filled with quintillions of planets and discoverable creatures, space battles, and mysteries to be unfolded. But while the game's introduction is one of jaw-dropping, eye-boggling possibility rolling within your own mind, it is a game that's actually realistic outcomes were never properly considered in your own expectations before. So where to start? Well, from the beginning you always wake up on a planet. It might be a desert, completely covered in snow, radioactive, or even gushing with fauna, but each one is different and completely randomly generated. Here you can scan for the local wildlife, collect resources, break into alien factories, or converse with the local populace, while unlocking technological blueprints or learning their language through multiple choice conversations, to interacting with their long-forgotten ancient ruins. There is a lot to seek out, uncover, and for a short time, it truly feels wonderful. Beyond that is space itself as you fix your ship, hit that ignition trigger, and transition seamlessly into the unknown depths of space. Different uncharted planets lay before you, completely new solar systems with even more planets and creatures to find. It is exciting to ponder about, but then something happens. It only takes a few planets and a warp jump or two to realise, but a truth becomes reality. It's that while everything you find is different, it is always the same as well. It is a cool concept, don't get me wrong, but No Man's Sky sits on a foundation of repetition that in no way can get itself out of. Even the three main sentient races are just three different templates of Space Dwarf, Cylon knockoff, and Lizard Warrior. Upon meeting these races over and over, you find that they themselves are just the same creature, but with a slightly different ear or hat, and just like the game's aimless wildlife, the sentience of these races comes into even further question, as each one just sits in a room staring at you with only one interaction to give, and a specific type of item to reward you with. No further conversation given, no carrot on the end of a stick to urge you to stay a little longer. They just don't even care. Everything in this game is just a random tweak sat on a template, and for No Man's Sky, I borrow a saying from the much-loved Bioshock series, and then change it just a little in its meaning. There is always a room, and there is always a man. Every space station, every base you find, it is always the same. Just a single figure sitting there like a couch potato, not doing anything, but staring at you. Their surroundings are also just a set of copy and pasted placeholders, with small bedroom bunkers fitted with the same technology interface layouts that never want to change, the technology never advancing between the three races, and the big kicker of frustration is that what I'm about to state next. And that discovery, in a sense, is non-existent. Yes, you travel through space, find planets, and look around with a 5-second ooh and ah, but then something hits you again. Something shifts in your head as you notice that every planet has alien bases on, that these planets you have discovered, and I say that with dittos, have actually in a way already been discovered themselves. No flag-placing moment, no I claim this planet in the name of Bob's speech. It makes the given ability of naming these creatures and habitats something of a criminal feeling, because in a way you would never hear first, and every single planet in the game does this. Beyond finding planets though are a small number of things to do. As mentioned, you can seek out alien ruins and learn new languages that in some cases give you choose your own story type options, each handing a type of reward depending on what you pick. These ruins can help advance your understanding of that solar system's alien language, meaning that garbled text in sentient conversation actually over time becomes English. It is a cool type of breadcrumbing, but once you do learn these languages, what is there really left to do? Well, you can unlock crashed spaceship locations, break into factories and steal technology, or even find more bases with a single man sitting waiting for you over and over. But the discovery of these two are ruined by the base beacons scattered around that show you everything a world has to offer by simply feeding it biochips. And so with that, tell me, could you really sit there for hours landing your ship, learning a word and then taking off and doing it again between a few minute intervals just to clean your cluttered interface? Because personally, after the first go, I was kind of done. But exploration doesn't have to be your only career choice, don't worry. You can also take part in the aesthetically homeworld-inspired space combat, where you and your dingy, upgradable ship can be attacked by space pirates, or even be a space pirate yourself. Though I do say that again with ditto fingers. The ship-on-ship combat does get a slight nod of approval for expecting you to line up shots like in an actual dogfight to take down these enemies, but like the journeying from planet to planet, this too gets stale fast. The game doesn't even justify the giant starships that warp into your field of view's existence. Where did they come from? Why are they fighting each other? Why am I even messing with them? In a way, you are having to create your own reasoning and story on a lifeless game mechanic that makes no attempt at explaining itself. The space battles are just there. There are no multiple race conflicts, no ground soldiers or two species interacting. It's just you shooting at them, and that's just depressingly empty. You can find ground combat through the wandering sentinels on every planet as some form of variety, I guess. Switching your mining laser to gun mode lets you shoot these robotic drones up and build up a star rating a la GTA, which brings in a more dangerous and size-provoking type. But like its space combat, once you try it once, you've pretty much seen all it has to give. Exploration 2 only offers so much. The planets in their natural core offerings always give you a set of the same minerals to mine, for that just feed your character's ever-nagging requirement for oxygen and ammo. You can dig further into the planet through built-in armament plasma grenades, but the caverns that lay beneath every planet's crusty layer of brown or occasional rainbow spectrum grass never offer anything apart from a feeling of getting lost. No new creatures, no treasures, just tunnels and loneliness. The treasures you do find also only aid you to a certain length. The game incorporates a type of cluttered crafting system built in with a limited inventory that must be upgraded through found backpack drop pods. Weapons and ships only come in a difference of appearance, while their actual workings stay the same no matter the assumed upgrade. Gadget recipes too only come in 3 stages, so pillaging a building only to realise you've already gained it brings a long, fully justified sigh to the time wasted and of course lost. Their uses as well come across as rather unimportant. Hazardous environments never take that much of a drain on your suit shields to begin with, and underwater sections have barely any sea life or points of interest to need oxygen upgrade slots. Weapons too, while cool in their design, only really change like ships in their additional capacity. They only come with 2 firing modes as well, and the need to upgrade them seems trivial when the starting weapon gets the job done already. In a way, No Man's Sky is a packaged template of itself that consists of smaller templates that could be excellently built up with further development. It feels like an alpha of a game in a sense, and all I can do is hope that Hello Games brings more to a universe that flows along a constant route of recycling. It is painful to see the story go through this as well, with every Atlas station just giving you a waypoint to, well, another Atlas station, and the finale to this bare-bones narrative after hours of jumping system to system gives nothing more than the reward of more recycling, but with a feeling of deflated defeat. That game company's Journey and even recently Giant Squid's Abzu accomplished the same thing, but made it justified because of continuous and wondrous guidance through subtle narrative and gorgeous world building. Leaving a game to create its own world building probably wasn't the best idea in trying to keep you immersed and attached, mainly because of a lack of monitoring, bugs, glitches, and hard crashes that No Man's Sky occasionally suffers from. The tech in this product in a way just can't even handle itself, with a terrible draw distance that was never advertised in its initial promotional videos and walkthroughs. It makes you wonder where that version of the game is, where is that spit and polish we were all expecting and had seen? It just seems to have been lost in place of something else. No Man's Sky is an achievement in itself, don't get me wrong. The feeling of traversing the vastness of space and landing on planets is something only EA's own Mass Effect dreamed to achieve, but beyond that is the lackluster disappointment we never wanted to feel. Planets feel samey and already discovered, the creatures are brain-dead and recycled, the combat pointless and misguided. If building from technology blueprints and scanning is all this game has to offer, then what are you meant to do beyond that? What is the actual goal when the conclusion is just to do it all again? It doesn't help itself when the product's soundtrack is actually one of the very, very few redeeming qualities, but how many hours can you really give yourself by just sitting in your cockpit and waiting for a house track to initiate? It needs that visual and mechanical kick to justify its AAA price tag, but in its release state, this is a game that suffers from hype, and of course, hyperbole. Proxy Payload gives No Man's Sky a decaying bronze muffin. It is a concept achieved that other series and aspiring titles can now look at to follow, but ultimately, this is a game that is in itself a concept, a template, and it never moves away from that. But what is your opinion? What do you think to No Man's Sky? Comment section below because we would love to know. But until next time, ciao.